Hi guys, welcome to a new video. If you guys want to know what's wrong with my face, then keep on watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a big thumbs up, and yeah, let's begin. Everything that I use, I will have it linked down below. But I am going in with the e.l.f. Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. This is new to me. So, what's wrong with my face? That's a question that I actually get asked a lot, and a lot of you guys might be shocked, but if you've been following me for a while and you guys follow me on my TikTok, though those are more common questions that I get on a daily basis. So if this is your guys' first video um, of me, I will link my disability video above here if you guys are interested. Maybe you want to go watch that one first before watching this one, just so you guys are more informed. Okay, so I was born with a rare genetic condition called Bendaninelli lipodystrophy. And so before I keep going, I saw a video yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago, of Lizzie.
I've seen one very specific question worded in many different ways all over my social media recently, and I figured instead of ignoring it, I'm going to answer it. And that question is, what happened to your face? First of all, nothing's wrong with me, my friend. Nothing happened to my face. I was born in this body, and it's who I am. I'm Lizzie. Nice to meet you. Let's be kind. Being curious isn't bad, but being curious can be asked in a
Velasquez. I don't know if you guys have seen her before. She used to have a YouTube channel, but she stopped doing YouTube, but she still does kind of like um some content on Instagram and TikTok. I will leave her Instagram down below so you guys can go check her out. Now, I got inspired by her video, so I give credit to her. Now, me and her are two totally different people. Um, and we don't share the same condition, but she does have, or should I say we do have the lipodystrophy part, lipodystrophy. So what is lipodystrophy? Uh, okay, so lipodystrophy is a lack of fat or fatty tissue to we're not able to promote that fatty tissue. That's why, I'm more muscle than fat. And a lot of people, just have the wrong interpretation of my disease, or I don't like calling it disease, my condition. So I think there's a better way of saying stuff, not saying what's wrong with your face. It comes off kind of, well, not kind of, it comes off rude. And I think sometimes some people, yes, they have a curious mind, but sometimes curiosity can be like an offense, if you know what I mean. I think when you are born with a disability, with the rare, or not even rare, but with the condition, sometimes people just don't know how to communicate the or express their concern, their curiosity. And me being on social media, I guess you could say I'm exposed to both the good and bad side of things. You're not going to truly understand the person unless you are living it yourself, you know? But I won't lie to you guys. Um, as much as, you know, even if the person says, says it or asks me questions like coming from a good side, you know, it's still something that it's not easy for me to talk about. sometimes it is hard, especially in camera, you know, in social media. You don't really know people's intentions, if they really want to know what's wrong with you, you know, because they want to get to know you as a human being, or are they just asking because they're judging you, you know? That's why I always tell you guys, you know, we need to be kind to everyone. You don't know people's situation. So sometimes I wish that people would be more mindful, you know, or sometimes I wish that we didn't have to explain ourselves so often, you know, and it would be easier. And this is something that sometimes I know we all don't think the same, but I'm like, how hard is it to go to someone's profile and look them up, you know? Like, if you are so curious and before making those uncomfortable questions, maybe not for yourself, but for the person that you are asking that question, if you could just go and do your research before going and asking those uncomfortable questions, you know, because maybe 90% of the time that person is going to have in their profile either a video or some type of information regarding their situation, you know, either they were in an accident or they were born with a disability. Believe me, I even have a curious mind too, and not in a bad way, if that makes any sense. I love learning what other conditions, what other rare disabilities there are out in the world. You know, there's still so many um what's it called? Conditions that are not uh in the records. Okay, so with this girl, Lizzie Velasquez, you know, uh, when I first saw her years ago, I couldn't believe that people would say such rude, not true stuff about her, you know. I understand back then there was a lot more stuff that we didn't know, you know, but we have evolved science wise, and I just think, we have the internet and you have the choice to either inform yourself or be ignorant and just judge someone, like they say, judge a book by its cover. And yes, like I said, not everyone thinks the same or um has a compassionate heart, and it's sad, to be honest. But with her, so like I said, I will leave her Instagram down below so you guys can go check her out. But supposedly, she was named the world's ugliest woman in this earth. And that is just cruel. Forget that at the end of the day, we are human beings. We are human beings, and the same way that you have feelings, we have feelings too, not because we were born uniquely different, we're all made under God's image, and that's something that makes me so frustrated with this world. It's like we already have so much violence, so much hate towards people, especially towards someone that is just living their life just like you are. We all have problems. You might not show your problems, you might not speak about your problems, but you in back of this screen, me and you are, well, we have one thing in common. We are human beings and we are imperfect. We're perfect in God's eyes, but we're not perfect in general. So before going and judging someone and asking them what's wrong with your face, ask yourself what's wrong with yourself, first, because I don't know, sometimes the person asking those questions are the ones that have more problems than the person you are asking the question to. So yeah, I I sometimes hold myself about speaking truly how I feel or showing mm, anger towards someone. So yeah, guys, like I said, sometimes I say I don't like being rude, you know. I know as much as my counselor tells me you speaking your mind and sharing your feelings doesn't mean that you're being rude, you know? It just, it's the way you maybe say stuff, But you sharing your thoughts about how you feel or how people make you feel, it's not a bad thing, It's not, you're not rude, And it's something that I need to learn to not feel guilty and not feel bad for, yeah, for sharing my thoughts. Um, I know that there's so many people, like, compared to how I've been treated myself, how people treat me. I know I'm not even as close to being rude, and yeah. So I honestly, um, for maybe someone that um could use some educating, send them. my videos, send them this video their way, I think sometimes, like, so, sometimes we forget that there's people that don't wanna, as much as you explain yourself and you try educating people, they're not going to change. And I know I'm not trying to make people change, you know. Um, well, I would love if they change. um, we I want people to be more mindful of how they say things, how they treat people, and you don't even have to be born with a disability. With time, I've learned that people get bullied for the weirdest, dumbest things. And I say dumb, but I mean to the person being bullied, well, it is kind of dumb, Um, but like there are certain things that we can't control in this world, and um, for example, people that maybe are overweight, right? You call people this horrible, mean things like, "Oh, you're fat," or "Why," or like, "You're so fat, you're going to break this chair," or whatever. I know that sounds bad, but those are not things that you tell people. You don't know if they have health issues. There's more to people than their appearance. And I've learned, and I've seen, that a lot of people that are obese, they're not that way because they want to be that way. I'm sure that they've spent most of their life trying to lose weight, and they've tried so many things, but nothing works, and that's why a lot of people get bypass surgery, or this new thing that I've been seeing, the is it GLP injections. Um, Sometimes people need that extra help, and it's not cheating yourself into being skinnier. um but guys, I'm probably going way off topic, but just to end the video, um you know what's wrong with my face? Nothing is wrong with my face. I was born with a genetic condition. Like, that's my response, to when I go live. Um, uh, and I laugh sometimes when people ask me what's wrong with your face, because I look at myself and I'm like, do I have a booger in my nose? Do I have something in my face? Like, why are they saying what's wrong with my face? Like, um this is obviously my face. I was born with this face the same way that you were born with your face. And a lot of people ask me if I was born, or if I was um if I was in an accident. When I look at my face, I'm like, do I look like I was in an accident? Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. And you know what? To end this video, another thing that they asked me is like, if I'm wearing a mask. No, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing any filter, like this is myself, this is my true beauty, I was yeah. And I laughed because a few times that I went live on TikTok, someone someone told me, they were like, you should operate, like, fix your face before putting on makeup. I'm like, fix my face? Are you going to pay? Because if you're going to pay, then sure, I'll fix my face, and problem solved. And it's like, I want to stop using the word dumb, but to be honest, it is dumb. When people tell me to get surgery on my face, surgeries are, yes, it's an option, right? If you need it. I don't need surgery. I, back then, years ago, I thought about getting surgery. I'm like, I want cheeks, you know, because I was insecure. I was not comfortable in my own skin, seeing my own face. But then with time, I've learned to love myself just the way I am. And I couldn't picture myself um with cheeks, because I'm like, what if I get cheeks and I end up not liking it? And one of my friends, rest in peace, he passed away a few years ago. He did tell me once, people already um love you the way you are. If you get uh surgery, cheek implants, like, it's going to be weird, because people already accept you and love you for who you are, for the way you are. It'll be, something different. And it's true. I'm like, people who truly love me for who I am, they already, they see me perfect just the way I am. Why am I going to change myself, put myself in danger, getting surgery, and something forbids that goes wrong in the surgery, um, all just because one person told me I am ugly and I need surgery. Um, so if you are being bullied and people are telling you that you need surgery, that um, whatever it has to do with surgery, or whatever they're telling you that is not nice, remember that you have real friends, you have true friends, true people, family that loves you and accepts you just the way you are, because you are beautiful. We are all beautiful in our own way. Don't forget that I always tell you guys, don't let anyone tell you or make you feel any less, because you are beautiful in your own way. And if you want to get surgery, do it because you want to do surgery. Do it for yourself. Don't do something for other people, because they're not you. I'm sure that if they lived your life for one day or a week, they would be miserable, they would be complaining. So remember that you are a strong person, you are a warrior, and yeah, you got this. And um, yeah, guys, I hope that this video was inspiring, motivating, helped you in any kind of way. And if you are maybe those people that have bullied someone, I'm sorry to say this, but shame on you. And I hope that my video at least changed the way you see things, because just think of, if you have kids, if you have kids, if you have a nephew, a niece, imagine if they were being bullied and they were um saying stuff like this to those loved ones of yours. Would you like that? You know, if someone um was doing that to your loved ones, because if you do, then I'm sorry, but you need help. So guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please send this video to anyone that you might think will be helpful and that loves makeup and lifestyle and all of the above. So I love you guys. Remember that we are all beautiful in our way. Don't let anyone tell you or make you feel any less. And this is the final makeup look. I love how it turned out. Comment down below, and don't forget, I will have all the products that I used down below. And don't forget to follow me on my all other social media. Bye guys.